Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Zano, and this is episode 256 of the world famous University Love podcast, also known as Online Marketing Moves. And we are coming to you live today. Today is Sunday, April the 18th, 2021. At the time of this recording, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to talk about knowing enough to take action. We talked about this before, but I'm going to give you a great example. I'm going to give you two examples, as a matter of fact. Now, this weekend, talked about it yesterday. Told you I had to go fix the bathroom, what I had to do. We had a guy come out, look at some stuff downstairs, and the guy said, you have a leak in your toilet. And I said, do I? And he said, yes. He said, you see? And he hit the flashlight, and it was a little leak. And he said, that's coming from the base. It's probably the wax ring. And I said, wax ring? Never heard of that. And he said, and then, so of course, first thing I thought, I said, oh, I got to call somebody. So I called, set up an appointment, and then I thought to myself, how much is this going to cost? And I said, let me look up this wax ring nonsense. So I looked it up, $10. I said, $10. I said, I'm going to pay somebody so they can come out and fix something for $10 and charge me $200. I said, you know what? I've never fixed a toilet in my life. I know how to unclog them and everything, but I don't know anything about fixing toilets. I said, but you know what? I'm going to do this wax ring myself. So went to Home Depot, bought the stuff, unscrewed it, did all this stuff, scraped the wax, scraped the gook off the bottom of the toilet, and we got the wax ring on there just fine, and it all worked out. Now it works beautifully. So that's one example. And then today, my wife, we had to move our bed because we have somebody coming out so they can do some treatment on the carpet and everything. And she said, who are we going to get to break down the bed? And I thought to myself, who are we going to get to break down the bed? Break down the bed and put up the bed. And I said, you know what? Why don't I just do this myself? I said, because once again, somebody's going to charge me an arm and a leg just to put down the bed. I said, I don't think so. I said, you know what? I don't know a lot about taking down beds. Mostly because, and it's funny, I thought about this while I was while I was doing the bed. I said, this is probably the first time in a long time that I have just slept in a bed. And like when I first started driving trucks, it wasn't my bed. I was staying with my parents at the time. So it's not like I had to break down a bed and move and all this kind of stuff, Like I bought a bed when I moved to Atlanta, after I got an apartment. So I didn't have to put up anything. And I was like, have I ever really put up a bed or took down a bed? I said, I don't think so. So I thought this was gonna be a lot harder than what it was. So I went on ahead and did it. And this time I didn't even look anything up. The wax ring, of course, I watched the YouTube video, then I got some confidence. But the bed itself, I said, I don't need to look at anything, just taking it apart. I said, how hard can it be? And it wasn't hard at all. And I went on ahead, took the action, and moved all the stuff. So everything's all moved out, and I've had to pay $0. But it's not about the price. It's just about the action that I took, and it correlates to online. It correlates to you and I in the online movement. You know what I mean? Sometimes you think, I need to know this, I need to know that, I need to know a bunch of things. No. Most of the time, you don't. Most of the time, it's trial by fire. If you just get in there, you start taking action, you start just figuring things out for yourself, you will definitely move a heck of a lot faster than if you just wait around, you wait on somebody to tell you where to go, what to do, and how to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need all these. I mean, a course is good every now and then, but you don't need to overcourse yourself. You just need to start taking action. You just need to start figuring things out for yourself. And these two examples are why you should definitely do that, because I didn't know anything about, a wax ring. I didn't know anything about breaking down a bed, but, just went on ahead and knocked them out. And there's been a few other things in the last week that I've done around the house that, for the most part, I've never would have done before. I would have just been like, we need to get somebody, we need to call somebody. But lately I just said, you know what? some of this stuff I can just do myself, so why not? And, you know, it has shown me that we don't need to always wait around. We don't need to always try to take a course or figure things out. Sometimes it's just best if you just go forward and move forward in the situation, with the situation. And that's how I look at working online. It's funny how when you first get started, you're like, I need to learn from this person, that person, this person, that person. You want to learn from 800 people, but nah, I mean, you take a little bit in, what they say, and then you can just base things off what and you just go for it. It's sort of like it's like when you create content. A lot of people think you need all this kind of strategy. The first thing you need, well, you need some strategy, don't get me wrong, but the most important thing is strategy is no good if you're not going to do it. Like start creating the content. Just start making videos. Doesn't have to be anything in particular. If you don't feel comfortable making videos, like if you want to be a YouTube person and you don't feel comfortable making videos, just get into the habit of making these videos. Doesn't matter what it's gonna be. Doesn't matter the subject. Just start making videos. Just stand there, make a video, and just start talking. Because you once you once you get over the fact that you are really just sort of talking to yourself or looking at yourself in the mirror, you will be fine. You know what I mean? It's like the podcast. I do the podcast. I'm sitting here talking. I'm talking to you, but when I record, it's I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to myself at basically. You know what I mean? It's just me in the room with the microphone, and I'm not. It's nobody to bounce off of. It's nobody to be like, hey, did you see that last night? No, it's just me and me talking. Now, of course, we'll start doing more interviews and all that kind of stuff. So I'll be talking to somebody, but in the beginning, I was just like, no, because I need to start creating content and I just need to go forward. You know what I mean? And so for you, when it comes to creating content, when it comes to anything, all this stuff online, yeah, it's a course will help you out, but at the end of the day, you need to get in. You need to get it. You need to get in and just get your hands dirty. And once you start doing something, you'll see. Hey, this is not that bad. Hey, this is not that hard at all. Like the toilet, I thought this is gonna be like complicated. It's not. It was like two screws. Two screws and turning the water off, which I already knew how to do that, and just unhooking a water line and boom, boom, boom. Putting a couple of towels down and that it's not that it wasn't that hard. Not like I thought it was. A lot of times we make things more intimidating than what they have to be. You know what I mean? It's just like the bed. The bed is big and bulky. And I'm like, how are we gonna move that bed out? And it's like, oh, break it down. You know what I mean? And like I was breaking it down, broke it down, and then I was taking out one piece at a time. I was like, you know, all the pieces together are pretty heavy, but all the pieces apart are very light and very easy to move out. So it took me like, 5 minutes just to move all this stuff out. You know what I mean? So it's not about, a lot of times, sometimes we get in our own way. Our mind gets in our way. I'm telling you, the mind sometimes plays tricks on you. And if you can get away from that, then you will be a whole lot better off. And so this weekend has definitely helped me when it comes to, trying to do something new. It's just like I was I'm telling you, I know when I know I talk about this a lot, but I was like, I need to start making these videos. And I'm not nervous about doing the talking on camera because I've done that already. But I used to think, what kind of content will I talk about? Of course, we would talk about content that goes with affiliate marketing. It's like, duh, what else are you going to talk about? I'm not going to sit there and pontificate about everything under the sun. No, we're going to talk about affiliate marketing, on the YouTube videos. That's what we're going to do. And I got to thinking this morning, and I was like, I wanted to start this sports podcast and this religious podcast And then once I started doing this stuff, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to just pick a day and I'm going to start doing more of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to just conquer all of this stuff. I'm just going to take a lot of action, a lot a whole lot less sitting around plotting, planning, and all this kind of stuff, and a whole lot more throwing myself into the action ring. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this podcast is great, and I love doing it. And we are definitely taking action, but I need more action. You know what I mean? And you probably need more action. And a lot of people think, oh, I'm doing this is enough, because I know in the beginning I thought doing this podcast was enough, but no, you got to do more. If you want to get to where you want to go, you got to do more. It's not about, oh, I lifted the bar 10 times. You lifted the bar, but did you do it right? Did you put the heaviest weight on there that you could possibly do? You know what I mean? Like, how much are you lifting? Are you really trying with every lift? You know what I mean? And that's how it is when it comes to creating content. It's like, how much content are you creating? Do you need to create more content? Should you create more content? The more content you create, the better off you will be. The more action you take, the better off you will be. So at the end of the day, you can do more. It can be done. A lot of this stuff is just in our minds, because as I'm going to repeat myself, this is going to be the last time, but I have, in the last month or so, I put together this desk for my office. I put together a chair, put together another desk. I have what else have we done? We took apart the bed, we've done the toilet, we have moved, we have done a lot of stuff in the for the baby room, put a lot of that stuff together, taking taking a lot of stuff out, taking a lot of stuff apart, but we have also put together a lot of stuff. So, and all this is stuff that I've never done before, but all this is just about me taking action, me saying, you know what, F it, I got to do what I got to do. So I know I can do that with all this kind of stuff. So I definitely can do that more with my online stuff. So I want the same for you. I want you to get up, you know. Yeah, I know, because a lot of people try to sell you a course, but it's like, do you need the course? Yeah, sometimes it helps. Don't get me wrong, but if you're not going to take action anyway, then and maybe we should be more like this. Maybe we should start taking more action, and and because I'll give you a perfect example. My wife she saw that I was very serious about this podcasting. Okay, she seen me very serious, and then she bought me. She said, "Oh, how long you been doing this?" And I'm like, "It's been." At the time, I was like, "Oh, it's been 4 months, 5 months," and she saw me, during Thanksgiving, doing a podcast when all hell was breaking loose in our house. And she's like, "This guy must be serious about this podcast." So she bought me a book about how to monetize more on the podcast, and it was a very good book. I read it, and it gave me a lot of helpful hints. So sometimes maybe you should start taking action before you buy the course. You know what I mean? So that way it will come a lot easier. You say, okay, I'm into this stuff, so I will read the book. Because before, 6 months ago, a year ago, would I read the book while I'm not doing a podcast? Probably not. But since I'm in the middle of doing the podcast, I'm like, all right, I'll read this book and see how I can monetize what we already got started. So think about that before you buy a course, or think about that before you buy any kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, start trying to do it yourself. And then once you get the hang of it a little bit, you're still in the novice stage or whatever. Then if you buy the book or buy the course, then you'll definitely want to be more into it, because you're like, all right, I'm doing this. And you will see for yourself. You're like, hey, yeah. They make a great point. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try that. All right. So I hope all this helps. Just get in there, take as much action as possible. Take it from me, somebody, because, and I'll tell you, I'm not the most handy person in the world, because my wife asked me on 2 occasions. I said, "Yeah, I'm going to fix this and I'm going to fix that." And she said, "Are you sure about that?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yes, I'm very positive." So, you know, I can do it. I can get in there and just take some action on something that, you know, I, that I had questions about. You can do the same. All right. So I hope this episode helps you by just, sometimes just get out of your head and just say, you know what, head, me and this body are just gonna do it. All right. So get in there, figure it all out, and you will be A-OK. All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back tomorrow with the all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. And as always, everybody, peace. Oh yeah, if you haven't already, go to the YouTube channel and subscribe to Tony Rizzano. And if you haven't already, go to the Facebook page, look up Online Marketing Moves. You will find us there. Like the page, share the page, tell a friend to tell a friend about the podcast. But until next time, everybody, peace.